Hi, Mike from GetVoIP.com, and welcome to our weekly recap. This is where we go over the VoIP news, as you guys already know. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. I'm going to start things off this week with RingCentral. This week, RingCentral announced Business SMS. Now, before, SMS was sort of something that was forbidden in the workplace, but it's good to see that it's reaching more adoption and people are accepting it as a means of communication, and sometimes it's a preferred method of communication. So Business SMS was announced this week, of course, and it'll be coming out early next year. With it, users will be able to text with customers, colleagues, and suppliers using their business numbers. This is great because they can use a dedicated number rather than their actual personal cell phones, which can run up data plans and the like. I know that some carriers have changed nowadays where you might have to be grandfathered in to have unlimited data and the like. So this actually presents as a great means for companies to sort of foot the bill when it comes to that. You can text departments with quick updates. You can send and receive text across devices, including smartphones, tablets, and PCs. Of course, we're seeing much more adoption with that. And you can also track text along with voice and fax messages in one location on mobile devices. So employees will be happy to consolidate their communications, as it were. It's interesting how the business world, again, has undergone this huge transformation into texting being a preferred and quick method of communication. Oddly enough, I've heard stories of people even resigning from their jobs via text. Again, there's always some things that you should probably call for, and we'll leave it to employees to use their best discretion when it comes to that. Also this week, Vocalocity was announced to be in Deloitte's Fast 500. This is probably one of the highest distinctions in technology that you can receive as a new business. Vocalocity's received this distinction for 2 years in a row now. The small to medium business market obviously is what they hone in on. They were ranked 112th rather on that list. They also got their third recognition in Inc. magazine, who is affiliated with the Fast 500. Wayne Kellum, who is Vocalocity's CEO, he remarked, "It's more gratifying to see our customers join us in the Fast 500 list, since our customer success is what drives us to continue to invest and innovate our service." So congratulations to Vocalocity, and we'll be seeing more from them in 2013, I'm sure. Also this week, 8x8 was called the best in software as a service by Gartner. 8x8 was named as a market leader in its 2012 Magic Quadrant for Unified Communications as a Service. This was all given by Gartner, who is, as we know, a very large research firm who are trusted in the VoIP and telecommunications industry. The award celebrated their fulfillment of a clear vision. Chairman and CEO Brian Martman called the award from Gartner a, quote, strong affirmation, unquote, of their success in enabling customers to flex innovative cloud-based communications and solutions. 8x8 have undergone an interesting journey, from obscurity to notoriety to maturity. All the while they've been working hard, and they're a real inspiration to businesses and are an entity exemplary of success. It's interesting to hear a lot of the longtime telephony followers still calling them Packet 8 when we went to the IT Expo a few months back. My exposure to them has really only been in their heyday, so I took a look back at some of their history, and I'm going to share it with you guys now. I thought it'd be a good little tour for you through 8x8's history. So 8x8 started in 1987 as a fabless vendor of semiconductor products. They were known then as IIT, which is Integrated Information Technology. They moved on to producing chips, software, and other technologies in the video conferencing market. Keep in mind, the market hadn't really reached maturity at that point, so a lot of these parts were basically not available, and when they were expensive. So 8x8 sort of spawned from the depths of this, I guess, misfortune you would call it, and lack of video conferencing solutions to market its own set of top video conferencing systems for consumers under the Via TV brand. I don't know if anybody remembers that. But 2 years later, they moved on to being 8x8 more so, and launched a family of voice over IP chips and software that were sold to IP phones, IP PSTN gateways, and other manufacturers of VoIP equipment. Basically, they were selling end-to-end solutions strictly to providers. So 3 years later, they started to sell their own VoIP services directly to customers to become the 8x8 that we know today. And basically, they never looked back. It was about this time that they had the Packet 8 brand, which has since been ditched, of course. So 85 patents and counting, 8x8 are always on the map and in the news, and we discuss them, if not monthly, weekly. So I'm sure you've noticed that we're always going over 8x8's achievements, and it's really fun to see them doing great. And like I said, I had a chance to talk to some of the people that work for 8x8 at the expo, and they were all very cordial and surprisingly humble for the monster that they are in the industry. So again, props to 8x8, and we're going to look forward to more from them. We'll be sure to keep you guys updated. Okay, the next point of conversation, and you guys are free to weigh in on this, of course, whether it be on our YouTube channel or the website. FBI surveillance of VoIP. Candidly speaking, crime goes under the radar, on the streets, on the internet, and pretty much everywhere in between. No matter what, people always want to harm others for personal gain, satisfaction, or whatever other reasons that may be. I don't quite think the ability for the FBI to tap into VoIP is something that people should get in arms about. There was much kicking and screaming about the Patriot Act a little over a decade ago, and now we've sort of accepted it. I mean, at first I really didn't agree with that, and there's a fine line between the government abusing power and intruding on our civil liberties. But again, stringent searches, body scans, other security measures at airports, they don't really bother me. I'd like to say terrorism comes in all forms, and I'm not your typical patriotic American. I say that I don't think a single entity is threatening our civil liberties, since it comes in all forms, as I explained. So the FBI is going to be able to watch over VoIP communications, and I think this is a natural step in the greater picture of things. Landlines are able to be tapped. At the moment, it's very difficult with the technology for the FBI to intercept data packets. So they've drafted a proposed law to make providers and their products and services wiretap friendly. So these new patents are basically going to untie these complexities. And the VoIPal president, Cheng, is sitting on that patent and is pretty much set to make an incredible amount of bank on it by freeing it up to authorities and the like. No reason to, be disturbed by it yet. They're still working through a lot of legislation, and even though actual deployment is far away, I'm going to say right now that it's pretty much imminent. So the next point of news, there was a new study from In-Network, who works in conjunction with Bandwidth. Basically, this study projected future changes in the telecoms market. This is basically researched the trends and things that are going to overtake VoIP as we know it, or telecommunications as it were. 74% of the respondents noted the death of the office landline to be the biggest factor. 72% of the respondents placed the migration to 100% of VoIP over long-term evolution, LTE, as a close second in market disruption. And 70% of the respondents noted the death of plain old telephone service. And pretty much half of them noted new competition, such as software as a service and over-the-top services, which we've seen a big insurgence of over the past maybe year or so. Alright, so here's something new that I'm going to work into our recap every week. I'm going to highlight the blog of the week. This is where we take a little pride in our work, and I'm not being narcissistic, trust that. But I suggest you guys look over my documenting of ShoreTel's documenting of their journey in marketing. There's some real valuable insights that businesses can take with them, so you guys can look over when you get a chance, and I really had a good time reading through it, and there's lots of things that it doesn't matter if your business is small or large that you can take with you, noting market trends, SEO, and other facets of creating a successful business and building an audience and also maintaining that audience. And finally, I just want to remind you guys, we got a little over 2 weeks left in our iPad mini giveaway. All you have to do is like us on one of our social sites and leave a little insight about the provider that you have. It can be whether you've had your provider for a long time or you just signed up. You can give us that personal sign-up process, how it went. Was it smooth? Was it terrible? How has tech support been? We really love seeing these things on the site, and I actually get a little excited every morning I come in and see a new review. It's usually the first thing that I go for to read while I'm sitting here with my coffee. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, you guys can go and check everything on the site. You can click the links as usual. I'm going to include them under the video and also in the article on the GetVoIP website. And again, you guys can write into us at any time. with your concerns, questions, grievances, what have you. And that'll about wrap it up. So this has been Mike from GetVoIP.com. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, and I'm looking forward to the holiday. Take care for now.